Emmet Gates hiding behind the microphone. Destination Culture, we're going to take you through. Emmet, can you go to the website right now as I talk and get up your Golazzo piece? We're going to talk about the Claudio Marchisio Speciale that you wrote about, because it is a special goal from not just one of Juve's best players, but Italy's during that period as well, between what? I'd say that 2016 World Cup, Marchisio played. We're going to use the one mic here. We're going to need to cuddle up because it's freezing this evening.
Exactly.
Oh, it's Inter off the post. It's really loud. But we're going to talk about it. Golazzo, Claudio Marchisio, Juventus versus Inter Milan 2009. The Derby d'Italia has the distinction of being one of the biggest in the world, without technically being a derby. And why is that?
Because it was coined the Derby of Italy by the mythical Italian journalist Gianni Brera in the late 1960s.
He coined a lot of things.
Exactly. He built the Italian football lexicon over the years, but it's not a derby in the traditional sense. It's not, obviously, Inter's from Milan, Juve's from Turin, but it's based on prestige, on winning trophies. They're the two biggest teams, the two most successful teams in the country, so it's kind of like El Clasico in that sense, Real Madrid and Barcelona. It's about prestige, titles, honours. It's not about geography.
Yeah, and you're saying there it's also compared to what? Your Liverpool, Everton, the Buenos Aires derbies, Roma, Lazio, Inter and Milan as well.
Yeah, they're all based on cities being in the same city. This is based on prestige and being the best.
And you go on to write, it's equivalent to Spain's El Clasico. The Barca Real, the date for this goal of Marchisio was December 5th, 2009.
Yeah.
Against Jose Mourinho's Inter, who were all conquering in that period of calcio.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you look through their team was brilliant. You know, you've Walter Samuel in defence, Javier Zanetti, Lucio, Julio Cesar in goal. So it's the Stadio Olimpico di Torino. So at that time, Juventus were this stadium that where me and David are in now was being built. So Juve for 5 years played all their games in Torino Stadium, which is in the centre of Turin. It's smaller, more compact, about 30,000. So that's where the game was being held. Juventus were in a bad period in their history.
Melo.
Yeah, exactly. Felipe Melo.
Years.
Yeah, Diego. This was Juve's banter years before banter years was even a thing.
Yeah.
There was Vincenzo Quinto still knocking around. Trezeguet was still there. Alessandro Del Piero was still there. You had Marchisio was one of the younger players that was in the squad. Sebastian Giovinco was still there. Gigi Buffon obviously was there.
I do recall around that era, Juventus were 2-0 up against Napoli, and it was Marek Hamšík's Napoli. Datolo, the Argentinian, they mounted a comeback and beat them 3-2 as well around that time.
So yeah, this was not a vintage Juve team by any stretch of the imagination, but in the Derby d'Italia, like I wrote about in the piece, David, it's almost like a one-off game. Form doesn't really come into it because Juve have traditionally always lifted their game for Inter, even when they're the inferior side, which they were on this night when Marchisio scored this goal.
So Eto'o had just moved to Serie A. He was involved as a make-weight in the Zlatan Ibrahimovic transfer, you were saying?
He went to Barcelona and it was 56 million plus A2, which in hindsight was a disastrous deal for Barcelona. It was probably the best deal Massimo Moratti ever did, because generally Inter were on the wrong side of good deals. Exactly.
So Del Piero at the end of his career, more or less,
yeah.
Alex. So Eto'o, I guess, was the star.
Yeah, you had obviously Diego Milito, you had Wesley Sneijder, you had, like I said, Zanetti, Lucio, Walter Samuel, Christian Chivu at the back, Julio Cesar in goal. This was the side with Jose Mourinho as manager. They would go on to win the treble the following May. You know, so this was a lot better Inter team than Juve were at the time.
Yeah, well, Juve had, next to Marchisio, was Momo Sissoko.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, Momo, an honest player, but not technically brilliant, but he could put a shift in.
And Julio Cesar in goal for
Inter. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the goal itself. We nearly got to one here.
Yeah. Colomani.
There we go. The frame. Oh, what a spin that was. Still there. Needs to go in and does. The Marchisio goal. We'll get to that in a second. Listen to this. to take a selfie. That was it. Juventus 1, Inter 0. Who scored? Back in a sec. We'll be back after this message on Destination Calcio. Don't worry about this goal, Emmet. Let's get back to Claudio Marchisio.
Yeah.
So, Juventus leading 1-0 here. It's good for Napoli, good for Atalanta, and good for Juventus, most importantly.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking for a top 4.
They're 3 points behind Lazio in the race for 4th place.
Could you compare this Juventus era to that one back then?
I think this one's slightly better.
Well, they ended up getting Pirlo and Vidal after that, didn't they?
Yeah, a couple of years, a year and a half after this goal, Antonio Conte arrives. This new stadium was built. Pirlo was there. Obviously, they got Barzagli, Bonucci, Chiellini. Buffon was back in his prime.
And they made this arena jump and bounce, and that's what they're doing right now. With the flags. We've got some good fan content for you as well. Go check our socials. Go check. The YouTube channel's growing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and for once we'll have something positive to write about Juventus. Maybe, unless Inter Milan come back here. So, coaching at the time
was Gio Ferrara. Juve wanted to do what Pep Guardiola had done at Barcelona. Former player coming back in, going to work with the youth, bring Juve up to a new level. They had Claudio Ranieri and a 4-4-2. And they said, no, we're going to bring in Gio Ferrara. We'd signed Diego, the Brazilian Diego from Werder Bremen. He was 25 million, a big signing.
Yeah, he was good.
There was a lot of hype.
Yeah.
They switched to a 4-3-1-2, and they're like, right, Diego's going to be our new trequartista. Gio Ferrara was gone by the end of January, sacked. After this victory against Inter, they went on a bad run. They lost to Bari, they lost to Chievo, they lost to Catania, and he was sacked at the end of January.
Here we go. Oh, what a ball that is. Chance for a second. Oh, he's fluffed it. No, he's still going.
Oh, off the line. Quick Miners.
Yes.
Oh.
He saves the day. I'm not sure if that was going to go in on the angle.
Yeah.
Back to Marchisio's goal.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's have a look at this. He's celebrating on this tweet that is put out by Juventus FC at Juventus FC on X on Twitter. It starts off. It's a clip here. Incredible goals.
Yeah.
You've gone to pick this one out and put it in your article.
Yeah.
There's
Momo Sissoko with the shot.
Sissoko with the shot
from about 25 yards. Julio Cesar kind of parries it out. Not fully. Marchisio is running on the left-hand side of the box. He's faced with Walter Samuel.
Oh, what a manoeuvre that is to skip around.
Yeah.
Is that Lucio on the ground there? Lucio?
Walter Samuel.
Walter Samuel there. Okay, and then inside over the keeper. That's so good.
3 touches, shifts it from left to right, back to left, dinks it over.
Half of South America.
Yeah, dinks it over Julio Cesar. It was all in one swift moment. It was fantastic, David.
And that's basically it. Claudio Marchisio, the Golazzo piece from Emmet Gates. We're hopefully going to continue this series for you. We are reporting this to you, telling you about this. Go and read it on the website, destination.calcio.com. Magnificent piece by yours truly right here I'm pointing to. If you're listening to this on an audio pod, I'm not pointing to myself. So, La Magia del Principino, Claudio Marchisio, Juventus against Inter in the Derby d'Italia.
December 2009.
Over and out from Juventus Stadium, Emmet Gates, David Ferrini.